I figured out how to actually enjoy studying hard subjects and crush them all. You know, when you spend hours staring at something complicated like calculus or physics, and it feels like nothing is sticking, you get frustrated and anxious because the exam is coming up and you have no clue what to do. Yeah, it makes you feel like an idiot. The worst part is, no matter how much you study, it never feels like enough to get a good grade. But the problem isn't that you're dumb or that the subject is impossible. It's the wrong strategy you've been using this whole time. In this video, I'm about to reveal 8 tricks that will make studying hard subjects a breeze and scoring high easier than ever. So, let's get started. 8. Identify where it hurts. Do you know why you hate that subject? It's because you don't understand a damn thing. And of course, if you don't get it, obviously you're going to hate it. To start fixing that, stop being lazy and grab a spreadsheet, a piece of paper, whatever, and list out all the topics that make you feel like a complete idiot. Then rate each topic using the traffic light system. If you don't know what that is, it's simple. Red for stuff you have no clue about, yellow for things you kind of get, and green for the things you've mastered, if there's even anything in green. If you don't know what's messing you up, you're going to keep walking around like a lost puppy, and you'll never improve as long as you keep blaming the teacher. Or even worse, telling yourself the subject is too hard. The real problem is you haven't done the basics yet. 7. Start with the basics. If you insist on starting with the most complicated topics, congrats, you're an idiot. It's like trying to skip 3 steps on a staircase. You're just going to trip and slam your face into the ground. If you don't nail the basics, the rest is going to feel like a never-ending nightmare. Stop choking on stuff that looks like Greek. Lay down a solid foundation first, and if the teacher's book is confusing and you don't get anything, stop whining and look for other resources. YouTube is full of videos that explain everything in simple terms, but it seems like you'd rather keep suffering like an idiot. 6. Think of studying as a game. Yeah, I know that just thinking about studying a hard subject makes you imagine it's going to be boring and never-ending. Stop with that crappy mindset and treat it like a game. Imagine each topic as an intriguing puzzle you need to solve. Instead of thinking, this is hard, think, this is a challenge, like a level in a game that you need to beat. And let's be real, everyone loves winning, right? For example, I'm into games, so I think of studying as a game with multiple levels. Every level I beat gives me a reward, maybe a break, a snack to celebrate, or whatever I want. This keeps my motivation high because, just like in games, every level I pass gets me closer to my final goal. And if you're one of those who find it hard to put this idea into practice, stop making excuses. 5. Create short, daily study routines. Studying 30 to 40 minutes a day is way more manageable and smart than cramming everything into your brain the night before the exam like a fool. If you're still clueless the night before, congrats, you're screwed. Trying to learn everything at once is just going to crank up your stress and make you hate the material even more. Just start studying early and stop procrastinating. The sooner you begin, the less you'll freak out, your brain will finally work without going into panic mode, and your grades will stop being a joke. And to keep yourself from going completely nuts, mix in the boring subjects with the ones you like, because no one deserves that kind of torture. 4. Organize your space and notes. If you want to stop studying like an animal and finally create a decent environment to focus, start by organizing your space and your notes. A messy space will only make you even more lost than you already are. Get your area in order and throw on some background music, something calm, or even those epic movie soundtracks like war music, so you feel like you're on a mission to conquer the subject. Just don't blast your favorite playlist or you'll lose focus and start singing along. Pick music you've never heard before. If it works, you might even start liking the subject just because you've linked it to that epic soundtrack. It's not foolproof, but it worked for me, especially when I hated math. And another tip, make notes you actually want to look at, not some chicken scratch that you can't even read later. If your notes are neat and easy on the eyes, studying becomes a little less unbearable. I mean, who wants to open a notebook that looks like the apocalypse? 3. Identify patterns. Yeah, subjects like physics and math love to follow patterns. A lot of those problems that seem impossible to solve have solutions that repeat themselves, like a cycle. The trick is to stop being lazy and start spotting these patterns while you're doing exercises. Every formula, every concept keeps showing up again and again, just disguised as a different problem. 2. Study with classmates. Studying alone can be hell for people who can't focus for more than 5 minutes in silence or need more interaction to avoid getting lost. If that sounds like you, it's time to stop being an idiot and form a study group already. Research even backs this up. A study from the University of Illinois found that students who studied in groups were more motivated and performed better in their exams than those who tried to tough it out alone. Why? Because when you're studying with others, you get to swap knowledge, tackle those annoying questions together, and honestly, it's just way less of a nightmare than suffering in silence. And let's not forget, misery loves company. Instead of sinking into a pit of despair alone, you're all in the same boat trying to survive this academic madness together. So, do yourself a favor, stop smashing your head against the wall, join forces with your classmate. 1. Remember your big reason. When motivation is at an all-time low and you're questioning why the hell you're even studying that useless subject, it's time to remind yourself of your why. There are 2 types of motivation. Intrinsic, which comes from your genuine interest, and extrinsic, which is the external motivation, like getting good grades or making your parents happy. If your interest in the subject is 0, think about your bigger goal. Are you just studying to pass the exam? Fine, but what comes next? Remember, this could be the key to something bigger, like landing a spot at your dream college. If you need to, use visual reminders, create a vision board, or write down affirmations that remind you why you're busting your ass studying. For example, studying medicine isn't just about passing tests. It's about being able to treat patients and make a real difference in someone's life. That gives you a much bigger purpose than just getting through school. Or in math, that boring formula might seem pointless now, but mastering it could be the ticket to something bigger, like getting into that top college you're aiming for. So just remember your reason and keep studying. If you liked the video, share it with that friend who's just as desperate for these tips as you are.